What's up guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Antonio, and on this channel I teach you everything you need to know about how to make money trading Forex signals. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make money trading Forex signals when you're using a prop firm account. See, when you're trading Forex signals, you should be using a trade copier. If you don't know what that is or how to set one up, don't worry. I made this video explaining what they do, why you should use them, and I gave a complete step-by-step tutorial on how to set one up. So if you're unfamiliar with a trade copier, you should probably go watch this video first. Now from here on out, I'm going to assume that you've already watched this video and know what I'm talking about. The tricky thing is, most prop firms don't allow you to use trade copiers on their funded accounts. In this video, I'm going to give you guys several different strategies that you can use to actually hide the trade copier from the prop firm. It's no secret that prop firms will use any excuse they possibly can to ban your account, but by using these little tips that I'm about to show you, you should be able to trade safely. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, here we are inside of the trade copier. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, you need to be using the TSCopier. It's the trade copier that I use. It's the trade copier I show you how to set up in this video right here, and it's also linked in the description. If you're not using the TSCopier, I can't help you. Now again, I'm assuming you've already watched my video on how to set the whole thing up and you're very familiar with this homepage right here. It's just what one of your trading accounts looks like inside of the TSCopier. It's just that basic homepage. I'm assuming you're already familiar with this. Now prop firms use several different strategies to track people that are using trade copiers, and one of the ways they do this is they look for an order comment. See, most trades don't have an order comment unless you put one in yourself, but when you use the trade copier, there's an order comment with the name of the signal group you're using. So I'm going to show you how to remove that. What you want to do is you want to go in here to just the name of the provider, click on that, it'll open this up, and you want to remove the order comment. You can see right there, it's just the name of the channel that I'm using. We're going to remove that and save it. Now the prop firm won't be able to see these order comments in your trades. By the way, this group right here is like actually my signal group. I have not released this yet. Please don't ask me how you can subscribe because you can't yet. Anyway, but I'm gonna make, this is about a week's worth of results right here. I'm gonna make a full video on how this works and how you can join in probably a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that, but not gonna get into it anymore here. The second way prop firms track accounts is by noticing that lots of people use the same stop loss, the same take profit, and the same entry point, all entered at the same time. Because when a signal comes out and the copiers all simultaneously execute that signal, prop firms track that like a hawk. So here's how to kind of mess that up so your trade is not the same as everybody else's using that same signal provider. Here we are inside the provider settings. Now there's really a ton of different ways you can kind of mess with the trade and make it not look the same as everybody else's. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go right in here to the strategy. My signal only uses one take profit, but we can change that take profit to a certain number of pips, or we can change it to a fixed number of risk to reward. I wouldn't really use those. That's kind of weird. But what actually is a lot more useful is we can add 1 pip to the take profit 1. Now we're going to have a different take profit value to every other to every other person taking the signal provider's trades, and the prop firm is less likely to detect it. Another thing we can do to change up the signal is if we go over here to manipulate signal, it's got a ton of great options for you to use. First off, we can change the stop loss and more importantly, we can add a pip to the stop loss, just like we did with the take profit. Or you can add, 2-3 pips. I wouldn't recommend doing more than like 1 or 2. But another even more useful option is we can add between, let's say, 0.2 pips to 1.8 pips to the stop loss, and the TSCopier will randomly pick a number between these two price points and add that number of pips to the stop loss. So one trade it might add 0.5 pips, the next trade it might add 1.2 pips. It's completely random, and by using this feature, it makes it really, really unlikely that the copier or that the prop firms will be able to see any similarities, because your stop loss is always going to be a little bit different. So this is a super useful feature to use. I wouldn't recommend going between more than 2 pips added to the stop loss unless you're using like a huge swing trader with some massive 30-40 pip stop losses. If you want to, you can also activate this feature here, which will add a fixed number of pips to the stop loss, entry point, and take profit. So let's say you want to add 1 pip, your whole trade with your stop loss, entry, and take profit it's all just going to shift up that number of pips. Another option right there. Like I said, you guys have a ton of options to manipulate the signal and make your trade look just a little bit different from everybody else's. All the same stuff down here at the entry point. You can mess with the entry point to make it look just a little bit different, and you guys have a lot of options. Now all the strategies I just showed you are all part of the TSCopier's basic plan. If you want, you can pay a little bit extra for an added feature called the Pro version, because the Pro version has a lot of extra cool features. Now, you don't necessarily need it because, like I said, all the strategies I just showed you are part of the basic version. and you don't need the pro version for any of them, and they should work just fine as long as you're utilizing them properly. But for those of you who use the pro version, I am going to show you a couple extra really cool tricks that you can do to even better hide the fact that you're using a trade copier from your prop firm. Let's show you the first one. So this feature is pretty neat. We can actually delay the execution of the signals by a certain number of seconds. We can say 1 second to up to 30 seconds if we want to. That was not the 3, but 1 to any number of seconds. And this will just, it's pretty self-explanatory. It will delay the signals. I wouldn't recommend using this feature with scalp traders who have a tight stop loss and always use market orders. I would use this feature maybe more with swing traders. Like if any of you guys know Investroy, they take a lot of swing trades, and they take a lot of limit or stop orders where they're not filled immediately. So this feature, kind of useful for some providers. I wouldn't use them on all providers. This next feature right here, we can actually hide the stop loss and the take profit from the broker. Now, the trade will still have a stop loss and take profit, but this is actually pretty useful for prop firm accounts because, like I said, prop firms will track trades, people who are using a trade copier, by seeing a bunch of the exact same trade. Now, if they can't see the stop loss or the take profit, they're not going to be able to tell. And you guys can see, the copier will close the trade if the stop loss or take profit is reached internally. It says that right here. So the trade will still have a stop loss and take profit. You just won't be able to see it from your MetaTrader account. Pretty useful feature right there. Now this feature right here is a huge feature that if you have the pro version, I would highly recommend you use this one. Even use it as a confluence to some of the other strategies. But this randomize the magic number feature is awesome because see, every trade you take has like an ID number or a magic number, I guess it's called. And the prop firms track these like a hawk. They can use a bunch of software to very easily organize them. And they can use these, I don't really know how, but they can use these to tell when you're using a prop firm. So what this does is it messes up that number completely. And it even says this setting is, no, that's not what it is. Randomize the order's magic number to lower the chances of being detected by prop firms. Like this feature, the TSCopier added this in specifically to be able to be used with prop firms. If you have the pro version, I would highly recommend using this feature. I use this one on every account that I use with a prop firm. I would highly recommend it. That is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got some value from it. Pretty short and sweet, but definitely some important stuff in there. I know a lot of you guys like to use prop firm accounts, and I wanted to make sure you're able to use them safely with the trade copier. If you're going to go and use one of these strategies, all I ask is that you drop a like as a thank you for showing you how it's done. Drop a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, and thank you once again for watching. I will see you in the next one.